Hello, I'm Rachel from Douentza Garden in Ireland, and today's video is all about plants and trees from much more tropical locations than Ireland. Today we're visiting the Palmetum, a beautiful botanical garden in Tenerife in the Canary Islands. And we're going to see a selection of tropical trees, palms and giant herbs. The garden has an impressive collection of plants which I couldn't begin to cover in a single video, but I hope you'll enjoy my selection of the most interesting and bizarre trees, palms and large herbs. So let's get on with the video. You are very welcome to this video visit to the Santa Cruz Palmetum on the island of Tenerife. Now, these gardens were built on reclaimed land on a site that used to be a municipal dump. The gardens are 12 hectares in size, that's approximately 30 acres, and are home to the largest collection of palm trees in Europe, possibly the largest botanical collection of tropical island palms in the world. But these gardens hold so much more than might be suggested by the label palm collection. They are a joy for plant lovers, especially those like myself who love unusual and tropical plants. Today's video is divided into three. The first part will show a selection of intriguing tropical trees. The second part will feature 10 fabulous palm trees, and the third section will show some exciting oddities including aroids. I hope that you'll enjoy all three sections, and maybe, like me, you might come for the palm trees but find yourself bewitched by the aquatic giant aroid or some other wonder of nature. Let's start off by taking a look at the tropical and subtropical trees. Let's start our tour with the pandan. The pandan or screw palm, although commonly called a palm, is not closely related to palm trees at all. It's native to the old world tropics and subtropics, particularly Madagascar. The roots form a pyramidal tract to hold the trunk. Trees commonly have many thick stilt roots near the base, which provide support as the tree grows top-heavy with leaves, fruit and branches. These roots are adventitious and often branched. The leaves of the pandan tree are widely used in Southeast Asian and South Asian cuisines to add a distinct aroma to various dishes and to complement flavours like chocolate. Because of their similarity in usage, pandan leaves are sometimes referred to as the vanilla of Asia. Our next tree is Colville's Glory, a deciduous tree that is also native to Madagascar. The tree is known for its bright orange flowers that grow in large cone or cylinder-shaped clusters. After flowering, the tree produces long, flat, woody seed pods. Today it's often used as an ornamental, particularly in Australia. Morinda citrifolia is a fruit-bearing tree from Southeast Asia and Australasia. The fresh fruit's strong, vomit-like odour has reduced it to a famine food in most regions and earned it the name of vomit fruit. Because of its strong smell, the fruit is widely used in eating challenges. For example, in the British reality television programme, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. The deciduous tiger's claw tree is native to many tropical and subtropical places. Here we have the fastigate form. The tree has many uses and associations. But in Okinawa Prefecture, the most southerly prefecture in Japan, the flower of this tree became the official flower of the prefecture in 1967. The tree's wood is used in the distinctive lacquerware made on the Ryukyuan Islands of Okinawa. The flowers of the tree have become synonymous with a popular modern song by Japanese band The Boom. And now we have the iconic baobab tree. Adansonia is a genus made up of 8 species of deciduous tree that are native to Madagascar, mainland tropical Africa and Australia. These thick-trunked bottle-shaped trees are among the most long-lived of vascular plants, some being possibly as old as 1,500 years. This is the papaya tree. It shouldn't be confused with the South American mountain papaya, which is the one I grow in my greenhouse in Ireland, or the Eastern North American pawpaw. The papaya is a small, sparsely branched tree, usually with a single stem. It's native to tropical America. The fruit is technically a large berry. It's ripe when it feels soft and its skin has attained an orange hue. There are numerous black seeds along the walls of the large central cavity, and it is quite delicious. The sea grape is an evergreen shrub or small tree native to coastal beaches throughout tropical America and the Caribbean, including southern Florida, the Bahamas, the Greater and Lesser Antilles and Bermuda. It's a popular ornamental plant in South Florida and also serves as a dune stabilizer and protective habitat for small animals. Crescentia mirabilis is our final tree. This Caribbean shrub or small tree has long spreading branches clothed with small oval leaves. Its nodes are enlarged and the leaves are fasciculate. That means they grow crowded together. The tree makes an extremely distinctive landscape piece. It grows in coastal marshes of northeastern Cuba and is related to the calabash tree. Now it's time to explore some palm trees, and a good question before we start is, what is a palm tree? Well, a palm tree isn't a tree for one thing. Palms are monocotyledonous plants that grow in height, not in diameter. Trees get wider, palms grow up. Palm trunks are more flexible than those of conifer and deciduous trees, allowing palms to bend in the hurricane-ridden tropics where they grow. Palms don't experience secondary growth, don't branch, and have no rings in their trunks like trees do. Palms are always evergreen, never going dormant, and their flowers are grouped in inflorescences. Their roots are adventitious. That means they sprout from the same point and all have more or less the same length. Palm leaves are called fronds and are long and thin to minimise wind resistance, again to facilitate living in windy areas. Finally, 2 fun facts about palms. They are a much more recent evolutionary development than trees, and they can only be propagated by seed. Let's start with this handsome palm tree that's endemic to the Caribbean island of Hispaniola in the Dominican Republic and Haiti. The trunk of this striking tree is swollen, or ventricose to use the correct term, getting more slender above the swelling. It's grey in colour with prominent leaf scars when young. You can guess by the species name of Pseudophoenix vinifera that it was once used in palm wine production because of its sweet sap. Trees were cut down and the pith was extracted, especially from the swollen portion of the stem. Sap was then extracted and fermented. Unfortunately, this has led to a radical reduction in populations, and one alarming statistic highlights a grove where 24 palms now remain in a grove where there were several hundred when rediscovered 40 years ago. From the endangered to the common, here we have the Bismarck palm. This silver-leafed beauty is from Madagascar, where it grows in open grassland in iron-rich soil. The palm is fire-resistant, enabling it to withstand agricultural land clearances and making it a prominent feature in arid areas. The nearly rounded leaves are enormous in maturity, over 3 meters wide. Leaves are divided to a third of their length and are composed of stiff, once folded segments. Most cultivated Bismarckias feature silver blue foliage. In Madagascar, the trunk is used for planks or in partition walls, and leaves are used for roofing. These palms are dioecious, meaning that individuals are either male or female, and they produce pendant inflorescences of small brown flowers, which in female plants mature to a brown ovoid drupe, each containing a single seed. The Rocky River palm comes from Australia and is native to rainforest, gallery forest, swamp forest, mangrove ecotone and moist vine thickets. New leaves are often in tones of pink, red or bronze, and the juvenile leaves become proportionally larger than in other species before they begin dividing. Veitchia metiti is native to rainforests on the islands of Vanuatu, where it was recently rediscovered. This is an attractive, fast-growing palm with a slender trunk and elegantly arching pinnate leaves. Overall, it's similar to the well-known Veitchia aracina. Next, we have the clustering fishtail palm, native to tropical Asia from India to Java to southern China. The light green leaflets are shaped like a fish's tail fin, hence its common name. Like other palms, it's tapped for sap, which is made into palm sugar or fermented. The fuzz from the young leaves are used as tinder to start a fire, and it has many construction uses in India. Licuala peltata is an attractive palm tree that comes from Malaysia and South Thailand. It's an understory palm in humid valleys and ravines, a beautiful species having very large, nearly completely circular, pleated, unsplit leaves. The leaves are held on long, dainty petioles. It's a moderately sized palm with usually only a short trunk, and its crown holds as many as 15 flat, undivided fan leaves up to 2 meters in diameter. Pritchardia laureana is a species of fan palm that is endemic to Molokai Island in Hawaii. It's critically endangered. Carpoxylon macrospermum is a species of palm tree endemic to Vanuatu, and the only species in the genus Carpoxylon, a graceful, tall, emergent, pinnately leaved palm with a well-developed, shiny green crown shaft. Airphanes horrida is a spiny palm known by a variety of common names, including Cocos rura. It's native to northern South America and Trinidad and Tobago. Cocos rura is a solitary spiny tree. Stems, leaves, and sometimes even the fruit are covered with spines. And finally, we have another spiny palm tree, the Salaka palm. This genus of about 20 species of palms comes from Southeast Asia and the eastern Himalayas. Despite the lethal spines, this tree is often grown for its edible fruit, called snake fruit because of the texture of the skin. We now move on to the final section of plants, and here we have a variety of large non-trees and non-palms, some of them real botanical oddities. Our first plant is a cycad. Sometimes cycads are mistaken for palms or ferns, but they're not closely related to either group. Cycads are gymnosperms, which means they produce cones, as opposed to angiosperm plants like palm trees, which produce flowers and fruit. This specimen is the Quango giant cycad, the largest of all cycads. It's native to northern Angola and southern Zaire, and it's a magnificent sight. It has multiple stems, both upright and prostrate, each as much as 18 metres, that's 60 feet in length. Imagine coming across something as spectacular as this in its natural habitat. Unfortunately, however, the Quango giant cycad is now endangered. Bananas are classified as evergreen herbs, and this one is from Hawaii. First discovered in 1960, the name ula ula is Hawaiian for red. It's debatable as to whether or not this banana is a distinct variety, but it retains an attractive reddish bronze colour on all the leaf undersides. Here we have some more bananas. These are from Indonesia and are blood bananas. This plant is a medium-sized heliconia. Perhaps you can see from its form how it's related to the banana. It has pendant, spiralling inflorescences that have reddish pink bracts with dark purple keels, and it's native to montane and cloud forests in Colombia and Ecuador. Now we have the most unusual of plants. I was dumbstruck when I came across this site. How could what was clearly an alocasia be growing in water? It defied all logic. But this, in fact, is the aquatic giant aroid. It grows near the banks of muddy streams or in marshes and is commonly found in freshwater swamps near the sea. All parts of this attractive looking plant contain calcium oxalate crystals. This substance is toxic when fresh, and if eaten makes the mouth, tongue and throat feel as if hundreds of small needles are digging into them. However, calcium oxalate is easily broken down either by thoroughly cooking the plant or by fully drying it, making it safe to eat. It's a famine food, one only eaten in times of emergency. Our next plant is also an aroid, so from the Aracaceae family, and is known as the pheasant's tail plant. It's found from Mexico to Costa Rica. This aroid, or more correctly, member of the Aracaceae family, comes from tropical, Central and South America. Syngonium chapensa has leaves that grow to 2 feet long and do not become deeply lobed or split. It resembles a philodendron, but the irritating white sap is a clear giveaway to its placement in the Syngonium genus. Commonly known as Abaca, this plant is technically a shrub. Abaca is renowned for its highly nutritious properties and pretty flowers. Its leaves are rich in essential vitamins and they contain approximately 12% protein by dry weight. The leaves are commonly incorporated into various dishes or used in salads in regions like the Philippines. There's lots to see in the Palmetum and it's easy to overlook things. I bet many people pass by these small, unassuming plants, never realising what an amazing rarity they are passing by. This is, of course, Welwitschia mirabilis, a dinosaur of a plant from the Namibian desert where it grows big. This is the first time I see this, number one on my wish list, actually growing in the ground. Welwitschia is an ancient plant that breaks many of the rules we now associate with plants. It's a gymnosperm, so an early division in the plant kingdom, like the cycads, and that means it produces cones. It also produces a grand total of 2 leaves its entire life, and these leaves grow longer and longer as the plant ages. The leaves split and tear and become very dishevelled. You can imagine, because this is a plant that may live up to 1,000 years long and always with just 1 pair of leaves. What a legend! And sadly, that brings us to the end of this visit to the Palmetum in Santa Cruz, Tenerife. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. I would love to know from you which plant you found the most unusual, the most interesting, the most breathtaking. Please do jot that information down below in the comments. I'd love to read it. And if you've come this far and you've watched this far, then I'm going to link at the very end to a couple more videos which you may also find interesting. Notably, the video I made about the Ravenala, the giant bird of paradise relative, the one that withstands fire in the same way as the Bismarck palm does. I shot that particular video here at the Palmetum together with what you saw today. So I'll link to that at the end together with a video about the Welwitschia, #1 on my plant list and closest to my heart. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!